What's up, everybody? Getting into this episode of Beyond the Gates. Allison is certifiable. Like, I definitely agree with Madison on that. Allison, she's in fucking insane. I was wondering the same thing Chelsea was saying. How are these undesirable people getting past the gates? Like, they got all type of security. How are these people getting in? Because they're not club members. So how are they allowed to just roam around the club? Like, ridiculous. Like, they need to fire some of them guards, get some new ones, because hell no. Like, homegirl is nuts. Coming in there talking about she got some marketing opportunity for Chelsea or whatever. Talking about, oh, it's gonna be big. I don't give a damn if it's a multi-billion-dollar deal. I wouldn't give a damn. I'm gonna still say no. Because Chelsea is not having it with this girl. And then she's sitting there talking about how Chelsea doesn't care about how Craig is treating her. What do you want her to do about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're freaking nuts. She's stalking her, basically. And Chelsea was like, you need to get your ass some therapy because she can't be her emotional support. And I agree, she cannot. And then she got the nerve to come back talking about how, oh, Chelsea's two-faced and she got hurt Madison. Homegirl, her attitude switches at the drop of a dime. One minute she come in all territorial, being all up Chelsea ass. And then the next minute she flipping out, trying to turn on Chelsea. She got a lot of screws loose. Like, a lot. Like, where is Craig? That's the $1 million question I have. Where the fuck is Craig? Because we still haven't seen him. We still don't know what's really going on. We have not heard his side of the story. Like, something tell me Craig is no longer with us. That's the vibe I'm getting. Is Craig even still alive? Like, I really want to know this. Because all it is Allison coming in, running her mouth about how Craig is treating her. But we have not seen or heard zilch from this dude. I'm curious. And Chelsea basically threatened her. She was like, listen, stay the hell away from me before I get a restraining order. And I feel like she does need to get one. I wouldn't even threaten to get one. I would just go get one. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Allison popped up at her house next. Like, hell no. You need to, do something about this girl. Homegirl is off her damn rocker. Because, Chelsea and Madison are trying to figure out, like, what's going on with their relationship because they feel like there's some distance now between them. I mean, they both have busy, careers. She got the business that she's trying to launch. Madison's a doctor. I mean, it happens. But with this Allison situation, it's going to create an even bigger problem between them. Because the way homegirl was sitting around that corner glaring at them, I was like, yeah, get that order. Get that order of protection. Because she's a straight Looney Tune. Straight Looney Tune. But anyway, moving on from that. Martin and Smitty need to get it together as far as this marriage is concerned. Like, Smitty got every right to still be upset, but you got to at some point put the work in to fix this marriage. Like, you can't just, keep pushing it off. Because Martin is starting to get a little irritated by it because he feels like the only time he's allowed over to the house, like his visiting hours. He just feels like he on lockdown or something. Like, he got visiting hours to come out of the house and hang out with the kids and stuff. I mean, it is what it is. But they have a lot of major issues that they have to fix. And a lot of those issues come from Martin. In his old-fashioned way of thinking. In the old-fashioned way that he wants a marriage. He has to start opening up more to Smitty. He has to start treating Smitty like a damn equal. Like, it's a lot of work that needs to be done. And at least Martin is willing to put in that work. Because he is having his therapy sessions with his mother. But I also feel they need to have a marriage counseling session. Not with Nicole, but I feel like they need another doctor for that. That's going to be the start of their healing. But Smitty has to get to that point. And Martin, he always feels like the other dad when it comes to the kids. because here go Jacob and Naomi coming up in there running their mouth about the adoption and June being the birth mother. Because Martin was like, shit, him and Smitty paid a fortune to make sure that the adoption was a closed adoption. And now this is all coming back up. Smitty was not here for it because Naomi urged them to consider, letting the kids see June. I love though how Smitty and Martin, when they adopted those kids, they changed their names because those first names that they originally had, I think it was Cecile and Ron. I was like, who gave them these little Roots names? That's some shit straight from Roots of the Color Purple. I said, who gave y'all? June gave y'all these names. I'm glad they changed it. I'm so glad they changed those names. But yeah, she was urging them to consider letting the kids meet, their biological mother. Martin wasn't totally opposed to it. Like, not totally. He just felt like, one, it had to be the kids' decision. Two, they're just going through a lot right now as a family as it is. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't think right away would be the best option. Smitty was totally against it. Because I feel like Smitty feels threatened. Like, what if, they meet their biological mother and start bonding with her? Like, what is that going to mean for him and Martin? You know what I'm saying? Because Martin even feels that way. Martin feels like, damn, like, we can't compete, with a biological connection. But I feel like they shouldn't have to compete. And they don't need to compete, Because like Smitty said, I mean, like, shit, y'all was there from the beginning with them kids. Y'all took care of them kids for years. Built a bond with them kids. You know what I'm saying? Gave them a nice, comfortable lifestyle. Gave them a big family. Gave them structure, discipline. You know what I'm saying? Gave them a real stable home life. You shouldn't have to compete. But I love that they're leaving it up to the kids, though, to make that decision. Because, of course, Tyrell and Samantha were eavesdropping. And I felt like they handled it maturely. The kids, because Samantha was like, she's not opposed to meeting June. Because she wants to show her some grace and some understanding. She just wants to find out, like, what happened back then. Like, what made her give them up and just run off, like, abandon them. Like, she just wants a better understanding of what happened. Tyrell, on the other hand, he kind of didn't want to meet her, but at the same time, he's fearful of what if, they get answers that's worse than what they thought. That's what he's worried about. So it's a lot to think about. It is, because that's huge. You know what I mean? But they agree they would like to meet her, and they have that right. Do I think it's too soon for them to be meeting her? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what? They're old enough to make that decision. And I like how Martin and Smitty are not going to stand in their way. They're going to allow it. Jacob and Naomi need to go on somewhere and stop meddling in people's business, because now y'all done brought, these skeletons out the closet, messing up people's life. Because that's kind of what they were worried about, like, what if this ruined, their life and stuff, we're about to blow their lives up. I'm like, yeah, because you need to stop opening up Pandora's box and mind your damn business. Stay out of that. Damn fools. But I got a feeling like them meeting June, it might be some mess. Because I don't feel like she's mentally ready for this. Like, is June really ready to meet these kids and explain the harsh realities to them? That's a lot for all of them to undertake. So, who knows if they're even ready for that kind of thing. So anyway, moving on from that. Tomas and Cat are doing some salsa lesson thing or whatever, salsa dancing. Cat came up in there looking good as a motherfucker. Cat looked so good. Cat was killing that outfit. Like, Cat was looking scrumptious in that red outfit. I was like, damn. Like, she always looked good, but damn. Even their salsa teacher felt like, they just didn't have no passion. Cat and Tomas. Because they could not get it together on that dance floor. And Tomas talking about how his mother or grandmother used to have these parties or whatever, salsa parties and stuff. I'm like, you can't do it right. Like, dude, they just have no rhythm together. And I think that salsa class was very telling. Like it's like basically reaffirming what everybody already know. There's no chemistry here between the two. Hell, I felt like the salsa teacher should have been with Kat, if you want to be honest. Um, so they decided to go back to her place or whatever because she had to call Chelsea to see if Chelsea was coming home anytime soon. So they decided to try sex again. Kat did not enjoy it again. Again, she was left disappointed. I know she was ready to go grab her little toy and go finish herself off because he just wasn't doing it for her at all. Then got the nerve talking about, oh, that was amazing. I'm like, sir, read the room. And he started to realize how quiet she was and stuff. I'm like, yeah, because that's not the reaction that you want when you actually put in some work after sex. Like, you don't, after sex, you don't want that kind of reaction where she just quiet and, nothing. Like, oh, damn, you put down. You know what I'm saying? You want glowing reviews. That was just horrendous. I'm like, damn, he don't put down? Because the look on her face is always so funny to me. She is not feeling it at all. Like, he is horrible in the bedroom. Like, that's sad. I'm like, yeah, Kat, you need to let him go and let Eva have him at this point. If he want to go be with Eva and Eva want him so bad, let him go there. And had the nerve to sit there and try to go for a round two. Kat was like, oh, you want to do that again? I said, right? Like, you should be embarrassed. But see, that's the problem. He don't know he whack. He really don't know that he whack in bed. I think she gonna have to have that conversation with him and let him know, like, he corny. Like, he need to watch some porn or something and get some hip action. Like, sir, you need to do something to up your game because the shit is weak. Like, do better. Like, you got a fine piece of woman right there and you can't satisfy. That's a problem. Get it together. You need to go do something. Shit, move your hips more, get some rhythm, do something. Because, no. I don't know. Like, go get a penis implant. Do something. Because, damn. Like, the second time, and it was probably worse than the first. It's not a good look. If I was Chelsea, I would have that couch fumigated. I'm just saying. Like, to be sexing on a couch that other people got to sit on. Listen, the way I would Scotch guard that motherfucking couch, Lysol that bitch, something. I'm like that. Even when I go on friends' houses, I'm like, y'all need to let me know where y'all did it at before I sit my ass down. Like, for real. So anyway, moving on from that. The lawyers on the phone or whatever was asking Leslie for her information. I think birthday, for her date of birth, social security. She hung that phone up and said, nope, I ain't giving y'all that. And Eva was mad as hell. Eva was like, why the hell do you keep hanging up on these people and ignoring this shit? She was like, cuz that's like looking for a pot of gold and shit. She was like, no, I'm good. Leslie wasn't falling for it, but Eva's over it. Eva is so sick of it because she feel like this could be for real. And she is not about to sit here and keep using Ted to, fund Leslie's life. She's not about to do that. And Leslie's sitting there talking about, oh, you too good to give me some money? Girl, get a job and keep a job. It's not her job to fund you. You know what I'm saying? It's not her job to do that. And I don't even feel bad for Eva at this point because she's a glutton for punishment. She keep going back to the shit. So I can't feel bad for her. You know what I'm saying? As much as I want to, I can't because she keeps seeing who Leslie really is and she keeps going back for that punishment. It's like, why? Like, your mother's never going to change. Like, homegirl is crazy. She just wants to freeload off of you and Ted. That's all it is. She wants to pimp you. She wants you to keep going to your daddy to get more money for her. And she going to keep blowing through it because she feel like Eva going to continue to do for her. No. Eva needs to cut that off and stop running to Ted for money. And I think Eva is getting to that point, hopefully, because she wants a real relationship with Ted. She doesn't want to be looked at as a mistake. She wants to be looked at as a real daughter, and get to know him better. Really have a good father-daughter relationship. And she can't do that if Leslie continues to bring her drama. And Eva pretty much put it out there that she liked Nicole. She liked Nicole, she liked Ted, and that sticks in Leslie's craw because Leslie keeps trying to put out this front like, oh, it's me and you against the world. No, it's just you. It's just you. Eva's trying to evolve from that. She's trying to be bigger than that. Drama and hustling people, and she don't want to live that life no more. She want to put all that anger and hatred behind her because that's her mother's feud. Like, her mother need to figure her life out and stop trying to use her daughter, and get her shit together. Eva needs to walk away from her, period. Like, she really does. But Leslie kept getting this phone call. She kept getting these calls from this unknown number. She kept refusing to answer the phone. I'm like, Leslie, answer the damn phone. You could be coming into some coin and you sitting there giving it like don't want it. Like, what are you, nuts? But yeah, Leslie ain't never gonna change. Still crazy as a damn bed bug. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Peace.